Hey up everyone, what's going on and welcome back to Sheffield United, where a change of plan has once again occurred and we're going to be playing both of the Inter Milan Champions League legs in this episode. So without any further ado, let's get into this. I don't apologise for that one, it's right there, I had to do it at some point, and it's that kind of point I wish I actually had put an intro on this series because, yeah, slamming that pun directly into an intro would have been a lot smoother. Also does mean I need to show you the result of the Manchester City match, which it was 1-1. We were the better side overall, but slightly deserved, I guess. 1-1, probably fairish, especially as we scored late on, actually. So them winning would have been a travesty. A draw, sort of the right result. Like I say, today is both Inter Milan legs. There is a Watford game in between, which we'll just gloss over because they're 17th and we're 3rd. But basically, the main decision here is we're focusing on the Champions League now. The Premier League, I feel like, is sort of out of touch, particularly drawing there with Manchester City. So the focus right now is winning this Champions League. Maybe. It is the Italian champions versus the English champions, of course, because we won the last Premier League, so can't take that away from us. What they can take away from us is the fact that two of our players are quite tired, apparently. So Burge is out, Neymar can't realistically start. I will never understand why he can't ever be familiar. Palacios I understand, Brozovic I don't really understand, and Calvert-Lewin I definitely don't understand, because how does Calvert-Lewin not familiar with being a pressing forward? Although what's happened here? Must be an issue with the skin and the new update, but he even prefers to be on the right-hand side. He's on his preferred side of this as well, for good measure. I think this might be why they keep telling me to swap him for Esposito, for instance. Although no one's happy with it, so God knows what the reasoning is. Anyway, full strength, basically, apart from those two enforced changes: Xhaka, Meza, Romero, Fofana, Aarons, Brozovic, Palacios, Jones and Gallardo, Martial and Calvert-Lewin. Up front, 21 goals for Calvert-Lewin, 31 for Martial, 20 goals for Esposito. Let's not overlook that particular fact either. 9 for Radovanovic, of course 4 of those were in one game. The front end of our formation, very, very prolific. So looking at their side, there's a few names that are already there. It's quite a lot of change. I'm not sure where Bastoni starts. I think he might be Inter Milan already, so it might be 4 already there. But Barella, Lukaku and Skriniar all still there. I'm not sure where Sensi starts either. He might start at Inter Milan, and maybe Salcido too. I know they start in Italy, the pair of them, I think. Not getting Sensi confused with Senesi, which, you know, similar name, but not the same player. Buendia's moved there, though. Liam Bailey's moved there. Keita moved there. Benjamin Mendy's moved there. And the Porto goalkeeper, Vlachodimos, is there now as well. But they are back-to-back Italian champions, and currently first at the moment as well. I might have forgotten to put Maddison on, actually. Oops. Right on the left is a curious decision. I'm not familiar with that Palhinha in what is their defensive midfield role at the moment. I've heard of Mert Mulder as well. At some point, not really familiar with him either. Well, he has been booked along with Bastoni at this stage, so 2 early defensive bookings for them is quite nice when you consider we've got 2 strikers pressing them at all times. Oh, one of them's pressing them at all times, one of them is attacking at all times. Mert Mulder, though, charging forward here and getting the better of Meza for the time being. Bailey's popped in and Lukaku couldn't have headed that any higher if he tried. Max Aarons is going to lob this one into the box, and Odysseus gathers. Can someone inform me what it is about the Greek? I think it's just Greek players in general, but they always seem to have their first names. Same with the Turkish players, actually. A lot of them seem to have their first names as their sort of in-game highlighted name. So I think Xhaka's the same in our goal. Is it just a sort of a cultural... Yeah, you can see it says Ergochan on there. There is a way of pronouncing it, and I don't think that was the correct way of pronouncing his first name. It's been a long time since I've said his first name, in fairness. I learnt it, but it's been a long time since I said it. I've just referred to him as Xhaka the entire time. That's an interesting ball, but it does still end up with their possession, and has gone away back across again. Curious balls here, and someone might actually charge down those areas eventually. But Benjamin Mendy back on it. Don't know why I'm full naming him, but Naby Keita. Lukaku there. I mean, that's a move made between 3 Premier League rejects at this point. Although Lukaku doing very well at Inter Milan in real life as well already. But Naby Keita, I'm not sure, fully appreciated by the Liverpool fans at this stage. I'm not really certain what the overall opinion is on Naby Keita. I feel like some people say he should be playing more. Some people feel like he should be, moved on. But Benjamin Mendy certainly not had the best of times in the Premier League. But Inter Milan have an away goal, which is not super helpful. Meza lobs that. Wow, that's a long throw. I didn't know he had that in his locker. I did check. to see what our corner tactics were, and it wasn't a long throw. So now it is, and now it stays. Meza. I think at one point I had them on long throws and figured they weren't really doing much at that stage of the game cycle, so I switched them to quick just so we retained possession, rather than giving it away every time. And I popped it back onto long throws for this game, and we've hit the bar, and it's already paid off, because we've had 2 long throw highlights already. This is the 3rd, and we're only half an hour in. That's gone in. Lukaku gets to that one, and interesting shot by Martial there in terms of the flight of the ball and the angle of the ball. I'm not sure how physically possible that shot was, for it to be that slow and at that angle. But Barella, that's 2 away goals for Inter Milan, so that's gone well. Pure inspiration from Barella, apparently. Right, just keep an eye on Barella here. There is a player in front of him, and then there is a player not in front of him. I'm also fairly certain the ball changes trajectory at the very end of that. It was going wide, and then suddenly, boom, wasn't. Why is Curtis Jones now? He'd always been injured at some stage, and I've not noticed. Right, we'll bring Neymar on. Right, okay, so, I mean, the text at the bottom there couldn't make his bloody mind up. Before the red card happened, it said it didn't think it was a foul at all, and then when the red card happened, it said it was a shocking tackle. So, make your mind up, game. I mean, realistically, there's not a huge deal I can do here. We can put Jones in the middle, who has to come off anyway, but I was going to do that change at half-time, so that was a really weird red card, and I can't believe we're being absolutely ruined here. Like, everything is going against us. I can't help but feel this is one of those games. It just happens every save, really, doesn't it? Just when you think you might be getting somewhere, they'll just pop off with a game where it just goes completely against you in every aspect of it. Like, they'll score goals that they really have no right scoring. You'll get players sent off. You'll miss golden opportunities every time. Lukaku will get a 3rd. No, he won't because he's gone wide. Oh, they're giving away a penalty. The referee has the same surname as my goalkeeper. Is there some kind of family feud going on here? My Chaka's on a 7.0 despite conceding 2 goals here. What does the Box of Doom say this time? Awarded, of course it is. I'm not going to say anything. I can't believe just as I was talking about those specific games that just where everything goes against you. And I thought he'd missed actually, but no, it's gone in. But yeah, I can't believe the timing of that. Couldn't have been more perfect if it bloody tried. Chaka even goes the wrong way. Chaka's still on a 7. Their goalkeeper's on a 6.7. Because we've had 1 shot, so he's had nothing to bloody do all game. Well, I mean, Neymar's come on and Esposito's come on, because none of my attacking output was really doing much. Meza, Brozovic. It's been dumped forward. Esposito will get it. Neymar's going to take over. If we can just get a second, it will make things in the second leg a little bit nicer. Because a 2-goal advantage is a lot easier to try and... I mean, a 2-goal gap is a lot easier to try and reclaim than a 3-goal gap, but that highlight doesn't end with the goalkeeper, so this is worrying. As Barella's on it now, and my player just runs alongside him, but doesn't go anywhere actually near him. Like, engine, what on earth was that? Now, Neymar will release Esposito for a second time in this highlight, and Esposito for a second time in this highlight doesn't actually kick it at the goalkeeper. I was preparing for another miss because that's the way this game's going. But Esposito rounded the goalkeeper nicely, and he's popped it in. Esposito just wanders around Odysseus Vlachodimos and slides it into the far. So like I said, a 1-goal gap here. They've got 3 away goals, of course. So we would need to win by a margin of 2 in Italy, unless we scored 4. But they're attacking again, so it might restore their 2-goal lead, which would be annoying. I mean, come on. Like, come on. Romero has been incredible all year long, and today he's putting in a 6.3. You're seriously telling me that the imperious Romero, otherwise, has decided today not to know how to play football? Loves a big game as well. Loves a big game, consistent, but today, for no reason, seemingly 6.4. He's averaged 7.13 for the season, had a 7.2 the season before, 7.07 the season before that. Like, a 6.4 seemingly isn't even in his arsenal, and today he's popped in a 6.4. I'm not saying the game is scripted. There does feel like certain games where you have to fight the engine to get anything out of it. 1-1 in the other game, and the other 2 games, by the way, were both 0-0 yesterday. Thrilling day on Tuesday's round of games, but non-sarcastically thrilling day today. I'm not doing any press regarding that nonsense game. Like, if there was something tactical that was going wrong there, I'd be all right with that. But they scored a wonder goal, a player was sent off, they got a penalty, and Romero suddenly decided not to be a footballer. I don't believe in scripting, but I believe Every now and then, there is a game that you are destined to lose. Every season, there is at least one nonsense game. It's usually in the Premier League for me, as it has been in previous seasons. It was usually Norwich as well. I think the first 2 seasons it was the match against Norwich. I think this is broken because this was broken last year by Matthias Pereira. He got like 20 plus. I mean, one of my players broke this last year as well. I think Kyle Walker got more than 13. But anyway, Watford's incoming, so we'll just bring you the result of that and straight back into the action with Inter Milan, as we hope their nonsense game for the season is the other leg. Liverpool drawing with Fulham would be more helpful if we hadn't just drawn with Manchester City. So 2 games in hand, we'd be 6 points behind them again if we win those 2 games in hand. They do have to play Manchester City and they do have to play us, so the title's not entirely gone, but I'm not super focused on the Premier League at this point in time. I was going to jokingly say something about Newcastle because they've won the last 2 games. I was going to joke they might actually get out of this. Provided we beat Watford here, there will be 10 points from safety with 5 games to go. And looking at the other 2 right now, West Ham and Reading, Newcastle are the ones most likely to do it. I mean, it would be remarkable if Newcastle survived this. So that's a nice dominant 5-0 victory against Watford, as one would hope, which does see the Newcastle hopes maintained and us maintain hopes of second, really, at this stage. Win that extra game in hand over Arsenal. 68 points, we go ahead of them. And 6 points behind Liverpool, just touching distance in case they decide to mess things up. And perhaps crucially, morale-wise, a 5-0 victory, super helpful. So I'm just drawn to this comment down here. Drawing is boring in all capital letters. The Lincoln fan not particularly happy with the draw there. Can someone just check on Daily Cleaver? He seems to be having a problem. So the good news is, of course, players that we didn't have last time, we do have this time as well. And the biggest hope of all is the theory that lightning can't strike twice. So Xhaka in goal, Meza, Romero, Fofana, Aarons, McTominay comes back, Brozovic, Neymar, Maddison, Marshall and Calvert-Lewin up front. After a brief moment of friendship, Berge and Brozovic back to not playing well together. So that's the reason for that. And McTominay is, on paper, the actual more quality ball-winning midfielder despite the star rating. Their side looks unchanged in the first 11. And yeah, unchanged on their front. And Bastoni is an Inter Milan player to start with, confirmed. And of course, so was Brozovic, but we have him now. Yeah, I've had questions in the press conferences about Brozovic returning to Inter Milan and all that nonsense. Even though that was 2 years ago now, he was released. I still get questions about Ethan Ampadu, and that was season 1. Not even my choice. He's already there. My favourite ones, I think, were Harrison Reed or some. I can't remember the name of the person it was now, but it was a person who I sold the first person I sold in the first transfer window. Kept getting questions about him returning to Sheffield United whenever we played them. He was here for 2 weeks before I sold him. Like, I didn't really speak to him at all. Barely had time to say hello. Marshall's in, might be offside, doesn't matter. Lacademos has gathered, and he's rolled it to Palhinha, who's moved it nicely to Barella at this stage. Not intercepted. Can we do something about Mert Mulder here? No, we can phase through him, apparently. That's about it. I mean, this is about to be an identical. The words are hard. Barella's missed. Identical goal for Barella. Too many L sounds in that sentence for my liking, apparently. Aarons gets this long throw. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. Brozovic now lumps it forward to them. As Dominic Calvert-Lewin doesn't really realise where the ball's going for a moment there. And just continued with his run before realising the ball was actually over there and went for it. Barella, super lucky to get that to Mert Mulder as it cannons off, I think, actually one of his own team. If that had gone in, I might have just shot the game down. That was such a weird shot because Naby Keita hit it and then no one reacted. Like, literally no one, including the goalkeeper, reacted to the fact the shot was happening. Anyway, Max Aarons. Nope. Maddison. Nope. Back to the goalkeeper. Dumped forward for Romero to play it off again. McTominay. Neymar. Neymar, mate. Like, seriously, what did you think was going to happen there? Playing a horizontal ball across field. I mean, even game, apparently. I mean, unless there's superb drama in the second half, this is it for us, I think. McTominay heads that one on to no one in particular. Mert Mulder. I don't know why they just head it, like, way. I mean, I know they're just doing defensive headers. I mean, Morata's got to be offside, surely. What? I mean, the objective's still the same. Score 3 goals. Them getting 1 doesn't make a difference here. 3 goals takes us to 5 all. And extra time, actually, it does make some difference. I know, because they score 4 away. We need to score 4. No, that does make a difference, actually. I mean, every highlight's theirs, so... I mean, penalty I was expecting there. I'll be honest, they've scored a wonder goal, 2 nonsense goals, 1 good goal, and a good goal in this leg as well. I mean, this ball is just pinging around. It's bouncing off defenders. It's staying in their possession, of course. But... I don't know what to say. This is absolutely pathetic from my side. Like, in this one, we are genuinely being outplayed, so... What can I do to maintain some dignity here? Madison's knackered, so just going to try something here. We can't play worse. No one else, I mean, Dominic Calvert-Lewin's having a bit of a stinker. And Neymar's really tired, as the challenge goes in, but they retain possession because that's the way this is going. There's been very few occasions in this year's game where I've been like completely, I mean, that sums everything up right there. That's the chance. I mean, Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored 2 in the last game after coming off the bench, and that's the kind of chance that, they're burying normally. And it ends into, I mean, bizarrely, less disappointing than the first leg. But half the plays we're seeing over the 2 legs. I mean, the semi-final was Barcelona or PSG, so Watford lose again in the background. So the Newcastle remarkable survival chances are maintained. We do get 9.5 million, nearly 10. So I think we actually do the next 2 games, Liverpool and Reading. I mean, Reading mostly because they're just the one after Liverpool. And then the final episode of this season will be just the end of it, I suppose. Leeds, Tottenham. And then I've got to make a decision of, do we go again? Because we've got to focus purely on the Champions League if we do go again. Or do I leave it there? I know I've said all season that we're definitely going to do another season if we don't win the Champions League. But we're 40 episodes in. It was only meant to be a beta save. It's there. The question is there, basically. But 2 more episodes for certain. Gets us to a nice even 40, I suppose. But Liverpool Reading next time out. Whether we can get the Premier League isn't out of the question. And in fact, Liverpool have got a game against Arsenal between now and then, who are second. I didn't even know they played Arsenal. That one had escaped my attention. I knew they had Man City, but I didn't know they had Arsenal. Burnley away is always not easy either. So we'll see where we... In fact, is that today? It is. Also, the other Champions League games are today as well. All of them 0-0, as I said. Well, they don't slip up against Arsenal at the very least. And it would have been PSG, who we had in the group stage, did we not? And we had them in the group stage last year, that was it. As Roma do Juventus as well. So I'm not going to lie, I was hoping for a little bit of hope there at the end with an Arsenal draw or something at the very least. But no, not to be. The chase is on, but it's going to be a tough fight to get this title back again. So we'll see how we get on with the remaining games of this Premier League season. Until then, ta-ra.